broken record, but there is clear fans for both sides stepping into this one.
Well, look, there's a lot of support for Na'Vi, and I think it's the heart, the way that these guys play the game. It excites the crowd, where a lot of people keep saying that Astralis play boring Counter-Strike. And once again, I'm going to tell everybody, it's not boring Counter-Strike. It's the most beautiful Counter-Strike I've ever seen, and I hope we get more of it today.
Yes, and of course, beautiful Counter-Strike has been the name of the game for so many years now. In fact, we have your top 8 major players from the history of those majors all time. And already we can see some recognizable faces. Simple, his performances at the major, it is certainly worthy of a trophy. He's been climbing.
I call Simple the god of Counter-Strike. I call him the greatest player to ever touch the game. His awareness and his approach and his style and flair while doing it, it's like none other. Sure, we talk about Coldzera up in the top 3. Sure, we talk about Nico up there as well. But the fact of the matter is, Simple for me, if he grabs this major trophy, if he continues this rampage, he has to go down as the greatest Counter-Strike player of all time.
He clashed with Coldzera, who holds the top spot, and we can see how that worked out to put Na'Vi in that final. And both 2-0s as well, Sean. Both of those semi-finals seemed rather clear-cut.
Yeah, and Simple Electronic coming up huge time and time again this event for Na'Vi. The big players are shining. Simple with a 1.48 rating. That's almost unheard of on a major level, this deep into the major. Electronic right behind him, and then Flamey right behind him. The top 3 performers so far from this major, all on Na'Vi.
And they're all stepping onto that stage in just a moment's time.
Well, actually, the top 5 are all stepping onto this stage, because then it goes Device and Magix in the 4th and 5th spots respectively. So it means that we have the best performers from this tournament all going head-to-head. Not only that, we have 5 players who have already lifted major trophies split between the 2 teams. 4 from Astralis and obviously Zeus from Na'Vi. Simple's been up there, tried before. He hasn't been able to do it. Let's see if he can get it this time.
Oh my goodness, there is just so many storylines. We'll continue to unravel them as this death does continue. But first, if we want to get a grand final started, we need teams. And I think, Wembley, you know what to do.
When it's all gone, the times that we spent just a memory. It's been too long to try it all again. Can you see that the sky is falling right now as I'm walking out the door?
So, what is the recipe for a compelling grand final of CSGO? Well, you want a dash of tension. You want a sprinkle of suspense. And lastly, you want a monstrous dose of carnage. Well, tonight, that's exactly what you're gonna get.
Can you see that the sky is falling right now as I'm walking out the door? Oh, baby, now it's all or nothing.
Fans, brace yourself, because here we go. The powerhouse Na'Vi versus the juggernaut Astralis. It's showtime, Wembley. London, bring the noise for Astralis and Na'Vi.
Your grand finalists for Astralis, Device, Dupree, Zipex, Glaive, and Magisk. For Na'Vi, Edward, Flamey, Simple, Zeus, and Electronic. Wembley, they're stepping into those booths. This is your chance. Let them hear you. A grand final that I just cannot contain my excitement for. It's a clash of styles, it's a clash of legends and names you don't so often get to see clash with so much on the line.
You can't deny how the team from Astralis got to this point. This run for them has taken on FaZe, Liquid, and now they have to beat Na'Vi if they want to lift the trophy. They haven't done it the easy way, but they've made it look easy, and that's something to really attest to for these guys. Yeah,
I mean, it's just going to be beautiful. Na'Vi, as a storyline in themselves, we're about to take a closer look at them, Sean. It's been a journey of low lows and incredibly high highs. No one's quite done it like Na'Vi.
Yeah, when they finally pieced together the roster, they brought Zeus back from Gambit. We all expected instant success after that major win from Zeus. And it wasn't the case. It wasn't the case. And they brought in Electronic. They still struggled right off the bat. Everyone questioned that pickup. Electronic being a young up-and-comer. And somehow he's managed to flourish in the system. And they brought Na'Vi now 3 titles in the span of the summer. So yeah, they're definitely up there now.
Yeah, now aiming for the big one, of course, the major trophy sitting between their booths right now. Let's focus on Na'Vi first.
Your inner focus should be to improve yourself. Whew. We finally did it. We passed the group stage. It's feel great. Feel great to be a legend again. I've never been at FaZe tournaments. This is my first time, but I believe it's gonna be huge. You should work on yourself every day, all your free time, because this is the main goal for every team and every player to win a major.
All your energy should be on winning of the major.
I need to do unexpected things and some magic.
Oh yes, Na'Vi, their Counter-Strike certainly doesn't put you to sleep because they've got some names like no other. Simple, one of the names that we're going to be talking an awful lot about alongside the likes of Electronic and Flamey, this trio which brings the fire, and to waft that flame is Edward and Zeus, who actually we have been giving a whole lot of credit to. Everyone has been pulling their weight to get them here.
Every piece of this puzzle has actually been firing on all cylinders with crunch moments, and it's, you know, it hasn't been the simple show. Everybody has been chiming in, and that is what's so impressive. When this roster first came together, we were really worried about it not actually living up to the hype. But now, with a bit of time, with a bit of patience, and a couple of fights in between, this Na'Vi roster has finally realized its full potential. And can they give Simple a major trophy here?
It was none other than NIP, FaZe, Fnatic, Big Clan, and MIBR all fell by the wayside to this Na'Vi roster. Those are no slouches. Those are names that even have lifted trophies before, and Na'Vi steamrolled them.
Yeah, I would argue before the playoff stage, Na'Vi might have had the hardest route to get to the playoff stage, which is why Edward was so happy that they made it out of that initial group stage.
Yeah.
They actually had to play Astralis earlier in this tournament. We can't forget that. They lost 16-13. That was a map that could have literally gone either way.
Yep. I think when you look at this team and the way that they approached the game early, it was just to break you, break your economy, keep the pressure on, allow the Stars to get those rifles in their hands no matter what, and destroy you. That tapered off, that changed. They showed some structure, they showed some poise. Their spacing's been fantastic. Their trading is what has gotten to them to this point. They are the best in 4v5 scenarios, and that's because their trading has been so on point.
Yes, and of course their raw aim as well. I think there's a demo to back this one up called Aim Factor. You want to talk to me about this one?
Yeah. So this is actually on their Dust 2 match against Big, and here we see Electronic doing what he does best, fragging out. It's something so simple, just a pop flash catwalk right as the smoke fades, perfect timing, gets that initial kill, and he actually re-peaks for more. And that's something that separates Na'Vi from Astralis. This is a huge individual play, and this is something we can see out of Na'Vi time and time again. Constantly going for more kills, trusting their aim, trusting their superstars, whereas Astralis, they might play the situation passive and not re-peek into that angle.
There's only a couple of players on that Astralis
this
roster.
Last shot.
Yeah, it's quite spicy, isn't it? Who do it time and time again, and Dupree's been the man stepping up for Astralis when the flare's been needed. But it feels like almost everybody on this Na'Vi roster has been able to do it. Even Zeus has had moments where those multi-kill impact rounds have been hugely pivotal.
I'm looking at the head-to-head, and as a core, as organizations, they have played so much Counter-Strike against one another.
Yeah.
We're looking at like 60 games.
Yeah, in 2018 alone, they played on LAN 9 maps of Counter-Strike. Navi's won 4, Astralis has won 5. This is about as close as it gets when it comes to a 1 and 2.
And a 16-14 game at this major already. This is just almost guaranteed to be close, blockbuster Counter-Strike. Now we have to talk about their opponents. It's Astralis. We'll take this next.
Thanks for watching us, guys. I really appreciate all the great comments you're giving us. It feels great to play under the Astralis banner, and I hope we can go all the way in this major.
I'm extremely proud of my team and myself to finally be here.
A roster formed out of a fantastic fire. They lost Kierby, bring in Magisk, and if anything, they just got scarier to play in the server.
Something else that's hugely impressive with this roster is 4 out of the 5 of them have already felt what it's like to lift a major trophy, have already felt what it's like to climb to the top of the mountain and be crowned world champions. I think here with their style, their percentage plays, the fact that they are able to play Flary when they need to, this is one of the best Counter-Strike rosters I think that I've ever seen touch the game.
It's a very short list of teams that have got double majors, Sean.
It is indeed, and this is one of those teams where you almost want to hate them because they're so good as a team. They always play the percentage situations. It's like almost the New England Patriots in football. It's so easy to dislike this team because they are so good.
Yes, I think that's actually such an interesting discussion. When we say they play the percentages, and I think it has to be said, if ever we were going to talk about it again, Chad, it would be in the grand final. Playing the percentages, every time I watch, even a lot of the pro players that I get to work with and share desks with, they just get irritated by how smart every decision made by the Astralis players is. They don't take fights they shouldn't.
They limit their mistakes, you know, when they know that they've lost a battle, they're happy to save and fight again another day. When they know that they shouldn't overpeak a situation and wait for a teammate, they will. But the really interesting factor for me is players like Dupree even can make those decisions but seem to find holes and gaps to make the flary moves. It doesn't make sense and it shouldn't work, but it does. And the fact of the matter is that structure, I guess, has allowed him to make those plays and at least make that impact in this tournament.
Yeah, and one other thing that we have to talk about is the demo selected regarding Force Buy. Sean, you want to explain this one?
Yeah, so I chose this demo because this is a new side to Astralis. As Chad says, they're showing that they can brawl now. They're willing to make these Force Buys. They went back and forth in this game against Liquid, and this is the last round of the half. Glaive throws a simple pop flash through the roof. It blinds Twist, who's that player you see in Heaven. And just the way that they take the bomb site is so gorgeous. The guy swinging front silo with the guy peeking hut and the guy coming out door simultaneously. The smoke goes down. And then their spacing to hold Heaven is perfect. So that way the trade would happen. They have a nice little twist boosting into the rafters. It's just so many small details go into making a round like this happen.
It's like they've already thought 5, 6, 7 steps ahead. When you get into that bomb site almost for free, they've already considered doing the boost into the rafter. A lot of teams would be flustered, they'd be looking for kills, they'd be running around the bomb site trying to get the best positions. But the preparation that Astralis do means whenever they get into a scenario, everybody knows how to react, everybody knows what that percentage play is, what the most likely way to win a round would be, and the best way about going about it.
Yeah, I mean, that's what's so cool about the Astralis boys and those from Na'Vi is that they have such clear and distinct styles. This Brawl, though, this is something that I find very interesting. How does that interact with Na'Vi when they are known for putting their foot on your throat when you're down?
Na'Vi is what I like to call a dirty team.
Okay.
They like to buy with the lowest amounts of money. 2 3s with 1 AK. You know, Simple will have a CZ or a Deagle, and you'll see Edward running around with an AK, and you're wondering, where's this going? And they always make it work. They always break your economy. They'll keep trying and trying and trying. And Astralis is going to have to win rounds like that if they want to win this best of 3.
But I'm sitting next to Sean Gares and Sponge, who both have previously told me, oh, force buy culture, it's bad, you know, look at the French, look at where that got them. Why are we praising Na'Vi for it? Is it because they get away with it?
It's because they make it work in any scenario. It isn't just run and gun. It's not buy tech 9s and run over the boost and hope you find some lucky kills or players out of position. It's working zones of the map. It's playing the rotations. It's making sure when they get that kill, they know how to capitalize as a unit. And the fact that they can do that, even if they don't win the round, they just do so much economic damage. And that's going to force you to play mistakes. You won't have a Molotov for one of your protocols. You know, you won't have a smoke to block off a choke point. And when that happens, they slip on in and they punish you.
Yeah, it is going to be so much fun to watch. I'm already getting excited. We're getting closer to game time. A quick reminder of one of our sponsors while we're here. It's called epics.gg. You can collect your favorite CSGO pros, such as the ones taken to the stage. You can do it on your phone or head to the website epics.gg. Give them a wave, Wembley. Give them a wave. Let them hear you. Bet they wish they were here now. The grand finals on their way. Oh my God. First, let's take a look at the head-to-head. 2 names, and I'm so intrigued to see how these two interact and intersect during this major final.
How could we not pick Simple, the god of Counter-Strike and Device, one of the best AWP players in the world? The way that he roams around in the backyard of Train, the way that he, you know, re-peaks corners, just his approach to, I guess, the professionalism of being a Star AWPer is something we haven't seen, whereas Simple is like, I'm going to do everything outside of the box, make it look easy and make it work, and be the best player in the world with pistols, rifles, clutching, whatever you want, he can do it. So this toe-to-toe, Device is going to have to do everything he normally does, while we hope Simple elevates his level even more.
And I mean, Sean, just to add on to that, we have to address that, you know, look at those ratings. Device has been, we call him consistent. He doesn't necessarily have to have the flair to be one of those highest rated players.
No, Device has been up there for years now. You almost forget how young he is because he's been at the top of the scene for so long, but Simple is unlike any player I have ever seen in my life. He is by far the best Counter-Strike player I have ever seen.
And not a single major trophy in his cabinet to back that up. Perhaps today, here live from London. A quick reminder that you guys can let us know who you think's taking this one. I said it feels like a 50-50, at least from the people I've spoken to here in the SSE, but you can let us know on the Upcomer app. It's www.com, upcomer.com. Nice and easy. You can do that, and it looks like 57-43. Yeah, that sounds about right.
A couple of people playing with their noggins there. I think, you know, it has to be a heart versus head kind of discussion here. If you don't go with Astralis based off of how professional, how well-rounded the brand of Counter-Strike they bring, then, you know, you're really hoping that Electronic and Simple can continue to play at that level.
Yeah.
You know that Astralis can do it. The question is, this is Electronic's first time in a grand final. There's lots of pressure on him.
This is new. This is a whole new experience for Electronic. I don't think I've ever seen that man look under pressure, but the vetoes is where that pressure starts to mount.
Lots of fun we can have with this one. Neither team likes to play cash, but the fact of the matter is Astralis are happy to let it through and maybe take the risk because it's Navi's perma-ban. But
no Train again.
No,
that's Astralis.
Oh, that's Astralis.
That's Astralis' ban. And yeah, that's a standard ban right there.
Navi banned cash. Okay, so that's kind of what we expected out of the two teams.
But what now,
Sean? And Astralis picks Nuke. And this is a map they're 18-0 on in their last 18. Navi is 0-3 against them this year, so they're part of that 0-18. But Navi is an extremely strong Nuke team, and the overpass pick comes from Navi. This is kind of expected.
I'm really curious to see because historically Astralis have been a fantastic team on overpass. They had a lot of innovation that execute on B that I talked about time and time again, Alex. The fact is, though, maybe Navi feel that there has been a bit of a weakness in the Astralis camp on that map because it hasn't been something they've been leaning to, not something they've really been picking in many of their matchups. Dust2's going to go out. We've seen a lot more of that in the Legends stage,
So that leaves us with Inferno, or we see Mirage.
I feel it's going to, if Navi get the choice, they're going to take it to Mirage. Like, that's a map that they have such a huge win percentage on.
In Cologne, though, when the two met up and Navi bested them, we saw Navi take Overpass and Inferno, and that was when Zeus had a huge game.
Oh, it's a third map Inferno on a grand final. Of course it is.
This is going to be such a good series.
I'm not complaining at all. As much as I love Mirage, we've seen so much of it, there is a certain air of excitement whenever you see third map Inferno, of course, on the grand final.
How many overtimes did we have on that map during this tournament so far?
Dude, I'm getting flashbacks to Boston as well. That was an Inferno to remember. That is a great map, Paul. So Overpass, where we did see Navi looking pretty fly versus MIBR. Now we get to see them do it versus Astralis.
If we're going to look at, I guess some win conditions right now, and we paint Navi as the underdog because they are #2 to the #1. When you look at, their pistol round conversion rate, I've been harping on about this the last 2 days. The fact of the matter is when they do win the pistol round, which is, it's bumped up from yesterday, I think they're up in the 60% now, they convert the second round 100% of the time. That is an insane stat. We cannot understate that, because in Counter-Strike, with how many force buys we see getting won all over the shop, if you're able to convert the second, most likely they force bought, which means you guaranteed the third, and then they go into the first gun round extremely low on utility. A map like Nuke, that's huge, because they won't have the smokes, they won't have the Molotovs, they'll need a different approach to lock down bomb sites, and that is something which needs to be factored in here, because how are you going to break that?
We have Astralis' Nuke undefeated. We have Na'Vi on their overpass, and then we get Inferno between these two if we get to that third. It feels too good to be true, and actually we should probably start talking predictions with our casters. It's going to be a tough one. It's the grand finals, our last prediction segment. Hey Wembley, why don't you say one loud hello to your casters for the grand final. It's James Bardolph and DDK.
Hello London.
James.
Looking really nice outside.
James, Dan.
This little booth.
This is not an easy task to predict this one. I mean, look to the upcoming map, it was like 57-ish. I mean, what does that make you say?
I don't know, man. I'm throwing all the numbers out the window. Everything's going out the window.
Okay.
We've got Simple. We've got an Astralis that's never looked any better. We've got Counter-Strike in London.
That's not a prediction, Dan.
I know it's not a prediction. Alex, don't expect me to make sense right now.
All right, stop that. I'm going with Na'Vi. I think it's time for Simple to win a major. It's been way down too long, and I think that today is the day.
I mean, what better opponent to prove you're the best player in the world and best team than beating Astralis? Dan, I'm afraid I'm looking at you now.
Second time's the charm, as they say.
I can give you some more time if you'd like.
I'm gonna go Astralis as well.
Okay.
Right, same for Na'Vi. I'm a mess. I think this game's gonna be a mess, Alex.
You're drunk on Counter-Strike. I don't blame you.
It's true.
Over to the panel for a moment then, Chad. You thinking with your heart, you're thinking with your head?
I've gone against Astralis way too many times this tournament, and every time they've come out on top. I think I have to go with Astralis here. I think just how well-rounded they looked yesterday, the type of Counter-Strike that they were playing, I can see it happening again today.
Shawnee.
Yeah, I've also gone against Astralis way too many times this event. And I'm going to do it again. I'm going Na'Vi. I think Simple is going to take this game. I wrote Astralis down this morning, but Simple and Electronic, I'm looking for them to dominate this series.
Oh, and I'm still scared to say mine. I don't even know yet. Let's check in with our worst analyst, actually. She's got the lowest percentage. But let's have a look. Maybe this will be a tale to tell. Maybe Eggs gets it right in the grand finals. Okay.
All right.
She's just getting her footing. It's a big choice.
It is the biggest decision so far.
This is the big one.
She can make up for all the errors.
She can redeem herself here. She's looking. I think she's looking at Astralis.
Whoa!
Okay, another phenomenon. But we just said she gets everything wrong. What do we do now?
She's been sandbagging until the finals, obviously. She's been waiting for the finals. Get you all betting the wrong way. Yeah. Taking all that money afterwards.
A Counter-Strike shark. Okay, I think I'm going to have to... I mean, I have to do this. I have to say Astralis. I truly cannot wait to see if Na'Vi can do it, but my head is telling me that after predicting Astralis and then they 16-0 MIBR, I just forever, a wound has been left. You can't doubt them. James, Dan will be checking back in with you when that game goes live, and I can't wait to hear you boys go nuts. Cheers, he says to the crowd alone. Okay, so now we can focus on the first map. The first map is Nuke, gentlemen, and I can't see a world where you're going to tell me that Na'Vi can do this. No one has. 18-0, undefeated on this map. How would it happen, Chad?
Well, we saw yesterday what Liquid were able to do on the low buys. It was quite messy, actually, from the team of Astralis when they were taking the lower bomb side. Also in Yard, there was some really cool kills by Naf with the Deagle, twisted a lot of damage. So they can be pressure points because if Liquid can do it, Na'Vi are actually the best team in the world at those kind of rounds. So that means that if they can replicate this and then close down some gun round scenarios, they can get on top of that economy. They also get to start on the CT side in this situation.
True.
Look, the more impressive thing about this Astralis stat on Nuke is the majority of the time they pick it, which means the majority of the time they start on the T side. If you're winning that map time and time again from the T side, it means you have a huge amount of depth. Wow. It means that you're super prepared with a lot of different strategies. And we saw a couple of new looks come out yesterday, especially with top hits, how much control they were getting under, their protocols taking that part of the map. So you need to stifle them. You need to make sure that they can't get map control.
But you've also told me that Na'Vi, when they win the pistol, they always convert to the first three. If that's on the CT side of Nuke, there's some money, Sean, and that could get the ball rolling.
I definitely think so. I think Simple can control the outside yard secret ram.
Защиту тебе это ровным счетом ничего не гарантирует. В любом случае тебе поставят палки в колеса. Эти парни из датского королевства знают толк в карте Денюк.
И вчерашний матч это подтвердили в очередной раз.
С другой стороны, касательно этого матча, мы видим две команды, друзья, две команды в финале, которые просто без шансов выщелкнули всех, кто им попался по сетке. Конечно, Нави там вообще удивили с бегами еще прям в самом начале. Все рассчитывали, что там, может быть, будет какая-то борьба. Да, все же помнят, что было в Кёльне, там на Зевса. Но нет, просто сели и отправили домой. Да. С другой стороны, команда Astralis. Вот знаете, они играли вчера с Liquid, и ну, я хотел заявку от североамериканского Counter-Strike второй раз, чтобы на двух мейджорах мы видели команду Северной Америки в финале. Только здесь это было бы в Европе, а не как в прошлый раз. И тут Astralis просто взяли и отправили этих ребят домой. Ну, абсолютно без шансов. Поэтому, что будет здесь, ну, я не знаю. Здесь как минимум корвалол нам обеспечен, свежий чай и крепкое алкогольное тоже в том числе, потому что матч будет очень напряженный. Ну и стоит, конечно же, отметить, что все это будет происходить в феноменальной обстановке для команд. Зрители будут, естественно, мотивировать коллективы играть красиво.
Да, две сильнейшие команды, друзья, в этом финале. Третья команда мирового рейтинга вчера действительно перегорела в матче против Astralis. Ребята, по-моему, действительно перенервничали, переготовились к этой игре, и вообще ничего не получилось. Ну и, соответственно, вы видели подготовку датчан к своему сопернику. Просто антитактика на антитактике, и это было тотальное уничтожение команды Liquid. Но сегодня очень серьезный соперник, принципиальный, я бы сказал, для датского Counter-Strike. Зоник уж не понаслышке знает, что такое проигрывать команде Зевса. Вспоминаем 2010-й. Все, по-моему, 4 турнира были проиграны команде Natus Vincere по ходу 2010-2011 годов.
Ну, можно сейчас, наверное, сразу писать в чат 2018, потому что сейчас 2018, сейчас тот самый исторический момент для Зевса, когда он второй раз в своей карьере с другой командой может выиграть этот чемпионат.
Да. Третий финал для Нави.
Ну, вообще,
в истории мейджоров. И, получается, четвертый для Зевса?
Ну, что-то вроде нет. Почему? Тоже третий получается тогда, если по финалам считать. Вот, потому что один у него с Гамбит. И...
Ну, Петрик напомнит нам все.
Да, ну, там так сложилось, конечно, и Гамбит, и Морталс сошлись в финале. Но это уже было давненько с этого момента СНГ. КС не зажигал так круто, так красиво нам показывал. Ого, ну там вообще...
Ну что ж, друзья, Лондон жжет, все готовы к хорошему Counter-Strike. Хотелось бы действительно хорошей борьбы, хороших раундов, интересного КСа, хороших клатчей и, конечно же, море позитивных эмоций. Ну, для кого-то, конечно, негативных. Все-таки кто-то победит сегодня, кто-то проиграет.
Кто-то победит, кто-то проиграет, но это две лучшие команды планеты в этой дисциплине. Прямо сейчас, сегодня в Лондоне, друзья. И они покажут нам самый настоящий мастер-класс. Ну и, конечно же,
да,
я
вспомним
жду,
статистику.
Вот, если честно, знаешь, что хочу сказать? Вот если Нави выиграют, MVP получит Электроник. У меня все.
Вспомним статистику, друзья, по мейджорам. Единственная команда, которая имела международный состав, это команда Гамбиты, которая является чемпионом мейджора. Ну, была чемпионом мейджора. Да. Нынешний чемпион это Cloud9. Ну и через там 2-3 часа у нас будет новый чемпион. Конечно же. Так вот. Смогут ли Нави стать второй командой, которая имеет украино-российский состав, вот выиграть мейджор и стать второй командой, которая не имеет всех 5 игроков
сейчас все для этого есть, и свой общий уровень Нави показали, опять же, проходя стадию плей-офф. Это было разыграно максимально жестко. Сразу у нас стоит Электроник. И вот она, родная техническая пауза, друзья, скорее всего, сейчас будет. Решили никуда не бежать команды. Но ничего страшного, ничего страшного. Небольшой фальстарт, такое тоже бывает. Так, ну и тут сразу же зрители кидают тот самый деп.
Очень много интересных плакатов мы сегодня увидим по ходу этого финала. Ну что же.
Мы видим флаги разных стран. Там были ребята, вот, которые там с флагом России, вот с флагом Украины, вот этим всем людям огромнейший респект за то, что они пришли на арену. И, ну, во-первых, болеют за своих, во-первых, показывают, что мы тоже здесь. Это действительно круто. Это здорово. Ну и всем зрителям в интернете респект. Еще раз огромнейший. Всем привет. У нас 146 тысяч на официальной русскоязычной трансляции. Напоминаем вам, что мы работаем из студии КС ЛТВ, но Будем надеяться, что на ваше хорошее настроение это никак не повлияет.
Надеемся сегодня...
Там болельщик Virtus.pro, фан-база Virtus. Они ждали их на сцене, но не получилось.
Они тоже надеются, что когда-то ВП вернутся в эти финалы. Ребята, конечно же, играли на мейджорах, финальных матчах. Конечно же, были легендарные команды. Но, опять же, вы понимаете, какая сейчас ситуация с составом Virtus.pro. Ходят очередные слухи, легенды, что будет дальше. Но, в общем-то... Об этом будем говорить уже на следующих чемпионатах, друзья. Ну, если говорить о студии SLTV, то уже в пятницу мы с вами увидимся. Blast Pro серия.
Да, Blast Pro серия, друзья, поэтому уже через неделю будьте готовы вновь смотреть нашу трансляцию. Будет очень интересный турнир с интересным форматом, с интересной схемой, конечно. И я думаю, будет интересно. Но пока самое главное, друзья, гранд-финал начинается. Нави, Астралис, Нави стартуют за защиту, атаковать будут датчане, но их безумную атаку мы видели буквально вчера. Сегодня к ней Нави должны быть готовы, но как будет на самом деле, покажет, опять же, покажут первые. Причем очень нагло и без дыма это все делают датчане, буквально на ноге. Заметить, успел постреляться, но опять же, что удалось сейчас Нави построить защиту, рисковые моменты, по ходу бомба